So I request Madanji now to take over the session, and as and when people join, they can join us. But we have got quite a handful of people in the on the call already, so let's start at 7. Now over to you, Madanji.
Namaskar. As already told by Pranoji, the topic of today's discussion, our interactive session, is parenting. About the scope of parenting, I would like to say that the prevailing concept is not adequate to explain the role of parents in grooming child, in manifesting the quality with which they are born with. So it doesn't adequately define the role of parenting. So what I mean to say that parenting doesn't start after the baby is born. Rather, even the study shows that the food the mother takes, her mental condition, if she is under chronic stress, then this affects the health of child, or her choices, the songs she sings, or the music she listens. So all these things impact the life of baby growing in the womb. Not only this, even before the birth, before the conception, the life during adolescent age, when the would-be parents before they get married, their lifestyle also impact the quality of cells, sperm cells, egg cells, which fuse to begin the life of the baby in the womb. So, before during adolescent age, during pubescent age, when the egg and sperms start forming, so there during that time, our lifestyle also impacts the quality of life of the babies in baby. So we can be better parents, we can have dream child if we start taking care of ourselves before we become parents. So the scope is wider. And one more thing, that studies are being conducted, and many the real informations of many studies show that the way we do parenting, there are some missing aspects. We are missing something very significant in parenting. And what is that? So, the spiritual aspect of life is not paid adequate attention. And we are to suffer for this. A spiritual aspect is important because how we view the child, how we view the child we pay attention, we take care of the child accordingly. So here I would like to quote the commitment made during naming ceremony prevalent in Anandmarg system. So in that, the society owe responsibility in grooming the child, in creating environment so that physical, mental, and spiritual development of the infant takes place. They collectively make commitment to create congenial conditions so that the physical, mental, and spiritual development of the infant takes place. Now, as child is viewed as divine being, so if we take care of the child, thinking the child as a divine gift, then what will happen? The thought of divine being will remove limitations, negativity, and the, the family environment will change. It will become more uplifting, more positive. So, if we think that when we will be parents, none other than God Himself will appear in the form of the child, then this means the environment will get a positive boost. So, what is required is to change our view of the child, our relationship with child. What is the potentiality with which the child is born? So, if all we pay proper attention, we be properly examine these things based on many informations which support this, then we will be able to prepare ourselves for better upbringing, and the problem which we are facing globally, rather, so much tension, depression, suicidal tendencies, there will remain no scope for these things. Because if we remove the thought, if we remove the concept which make us susceptible to these things, which limit our scope of using our potentiality. So if we pay proper attention, if we properly understand and give it due consideration in parenting, then there is no reason why there will be so much stress. Even the children, adolescents, old persons, all are under stress. People are these depression, suicidal tendencies are increasing at alarming rate. So, one thing which can change the global scenario is the concept of parenting. What does parenting mean? If we take care of the children at the right time, when they are growing, and we feel positivity in them, then what will happen? their mental condition, their physical condition will change. The family environment will change. And if we change our lifestyle at the adolescent age, then what will happen? The changes will come about in the quality of our genes, in the expression of genes, which the offsprings will inherit. Means we will be providing better genes to our offsprings. And with these genes, they will be able to do things which appears difficult in present situation. If we prepare, we are well equipped rather. The studies have revealed that our lifestyle before being parents greatly influence the quality of offsprings. By bringing about epigenetic change. This affects the expression of genes. So options are abundant now. It's due to development of science and the informations which are trickling in. All these suggest that options to have better offsprings, options to do better parenting are abundant. We can make use of that. Now the question is that life has become very fast. So people are not able to pay proper attention to the infants in grooming them properly. But if we start a better lifestyle at adolescent age, then it will make the task of parenting very easy.
I have a question here, Madanji. So, say if we were, because of our fast lives and the lifestyles, the stress that you're giving on the starting the life at an adolescence age, if we have not done that, what are the changes that can be brought about to have that inculcated at least in our kids now, and how can that help us in better parenting?
Yeah, even then there is a scope. What is that scope? That if you start now, then what will happen? The children copy their parents. If you eat vegetarian food in the family, the children will also join in that. They will also get used to eat vegetarian food. If you meditate, they will also, if you meditate regularly, if you do kirtan, if you do asan, so the family, it will be easy for the family to join. So, and what is the beauty? What is the added advantage of this? That by changing your lifestyle this way, you will be able to save some time, some energy, which was otherwise going down the drain. So you can have some more available energies. You can be able to devote some time, and the experience, this exposure will lead you to experiences which will further boost your mind, and the visible change you will see in your family will further boost your mind. So, what I mean to say is that in fast-paced life, there is certainly shortage of time, shortage of energy, but we have capacity to evolve faster, even in fast-paced life. If we know the way how to do it, if we have determination, we can be able to do. I think this satisfies.
Yes, it does. Also, like we have been talking about the fast life and lack of time. So uh, we always try to put our kids in our kids in the best schools and the best play areas, or we want to give the kids the best. But how important is giving the best, and how important is our role in their day to day activities, our presence in their day to day activities that can help them in a better way, to build them better, in a better way.
See, the first thing is to be sensitive to children. See, what is the children's requirements? We should be sensitive to that, and we should be able to respond very quickly and appropriately. Means secure attachment with the children and supportive relationship will bridge the gap, will help in taking care of the children better. So what we need to do is we need to be very supportive parents. We should try to understand our children, their ability, their limitations. So when we understand these things, we will be able to address our own problem as well as theirs. Is, is the point clear?
Yes, and what my question also was that how left we should, or how much we should keep ourselves away from uh, you know uh, from I'm not able to put the question, but say if we have given the responsibility on schools and tutors and everybody, does that suffice our responsibility as parents, or how should we go about it, and how deep we should go with that, and how important is the role of a school, or hope you understand the question, Madanji.
See, the thing is that parents' role is more important. This school education will not suffice. We will have to find some time, and this social and emotional environment inside our home, congenial environment, so that they, wherever they are, the imprint of that, the influence of that is there, so that if the institution in which the children are studying, if the environment is not so congenial, so uplifting, even then this family environment will act as complementary. It will help. So, and no environment can be better than family environment. The parental care is the best.
Okay, so I would request the rest of the people also, in the interest of time, if you have any questions, maybe if we make it a little interactive, maybe Madanji can help us.
I have one question, and that is like, how do you see kids? Because you have seen kids, your own kids, and the kids of further generation. So, what is the main difference between them, and how to make the kids of today's generation value driven? How to make them more value driven? Because they are very logical. If you see, they are very logical, but there is some lack of value somewhere. Like, the values which should be there, they have lot of data about what gadget is like what, how's the laptop, and about internet and all, but the value of life, it is somehow getting lost somewhere. So how to inculcate those values?
But see, here I would like to quote Sri Anand Murthy saying that present humans, and it is now universally known, that present humans have much more developed nerves and glands. They are their ability to understand things, grasp things is more, and so is the availability of informations also. Even on values also, studies in researches are going on, informations are trickling in, and we can have access to those informations also. So here also the role of parents are very important. They should keep an eye on their children so that they do not have easy access to informations which are harmful, and they should have easy access to informations which are good for them, as well as by our own way of life. The parents can be a better teacher. They can teach by their behavior. By their behavior, they can change the biology of children.
Yes.
Parents through their behavior, they can change the biology, they can change the behavior, they can change the value system of the children. So parents will have to take some pains. At times, it is seen that even parents are not very particular about this very significant thing. So they will have to be particular because it is their responsibility, and they see if there is interest, if there is a stubborn desire, then some days can be found out. Will creates the way.
Yes. Yes.
How much role does punishment play in bringing up? So sorry, we at times we get carried away, in our emotions when we are dealing with kids, and we do tend to punish them also. How much that role,
To, to my
and to Madanji, to increase, to broaden the question, how much of physical interaction with the kids is required in parenting?
see, physical interaction is required because they are part of our physical. A child is a part of our physical structure. The physical structure has mind also. So the interaction at the physical level is very much required. I will say one example, but this applies to human beings also. It is told that leaking, grooming When a rat is licked and groomed by mother, then the baby develops resistance to stress, acquires the ability to act in difficult situations. So, parental affection, security, their physical contact, presence, all these things are very crucial. It cannot be overlooked. We will have to pay heavily for that. In fact, the parents should act like two in one. Means they should be able to feel the presence of children and feel happy about that. The children they will also reciprocate, and they will be free to seek their advice. Here it is, this sharing is much better than disciplining. It is much better if you discipline doesn't work much. It is sharing, it is love and affection. So the children should be free to seek advice wherever they are in trouble, wherever they need. They should be free to seek the parents' advice, and this will help both parents and children in their upliftment.
Correct, Madanji. So I have seen this new culture coming up where kids are made to sleep alone at a very small age. When even when they're infants, they are made to sleep on crutches, and as they grow up, they sleep on bunker beds and something like that. So, uh, does that affect? Because I had read somewhere that it affects the growth of a baby.
Certainly, it affects. I would like to very old article I read in Reader's Digest. What happens when the child is loved? So when they are close, they feel secured. When the child is in touch with the parents, they feel they have been programmed accordingly. They feel secured. The sense of security prevails, and that is very much required. So, even some trial was that the child is a national child, like that. Some fanatics ideas was there, but these things are anti-social. I can say anti-human. The children should have enough scope to enjoy parental affection. They are right and they need.
Okay, Madanji. Um, so I think we've reached the 30 minutes of the session. Um, but then there are some questions that you might also, if the rest of the people also might have. If you have, please do bring it across now. Um, and also, while people are thinking about the questions, one thing that you told about was the societal influence on the children. We do have, obviously, the kids play around and they will interact with many people, and they'll learn different things which is beyond our families purview. So how to have a control on that also, and that is first question. Second is that you had mentioned about the naming ceremony, the Jatak Karma ceremony in Ananda Marga, which plays an important role in defining the roles and responsibilities of the society. So maybe you can highlight again on that, and also let us know how to have a control on how the different things in the society affect our kids? How can we have a control on that at a tender age of our kids?
See, two things. First, I would like to say about the outer influences, because we are living in the society. So outer environment may not always be the same as family environment. So what is required is the proper education, and the parents, the grandparents should strictly follow what they teach. By seeing their behavior, they will gradually feel the idea will get embedded in their unconscious, subconscious mind. And some fluctuations at times may take place, but gradually they will come to the right point. They will, or even if this comes, some deviation comes to the knowledge of parents, when then parents do counseling, then they will improve. They will be suggestible, they will easily grasp. But if the parents themselves are not following that very strictly, then the outer influence may work. And now about, so is this point clear?
Yes, it is.
So now the next point is naming ceremony. See, many things which we do at societal level, this forms a part of our culture. This becomes a part of our values. And when it is done in proper way, with proper logic, in proper environment, then what will happen? It will affect the children. It will affect the society also, because many things we are doing. We are many people, many mothers are religious, but they are not able to take advantage of their religiosity, because they don't know the right spirit, right ways to take advantage of these things. So here Anandmal naming ceremony has been conceived to wake up the people so that they understand the children better, they understand their relationship with the children better, and how to behave with them, how to help them manifest their potentiality, and this will go a long way in improving the conditions of society. Spirituality is today the only hope, because the highly qualified persons, intellectual giants, they are committing suicide, they are depressed. The number, in fact, they are the most vulnerable class. So something more was needed, and in response to that call, these things have been given by great persons, great gurus.
Okay. Yeah, Madanji. Anybody has any questions, please? Okay. Not getting into the vegetarianism and non-vegetarianism, discussion, but what role does food, play in the child's development?
See, the role which vegetarianism play in child's development is, see, certain food we eat requires more energy to digest. Particularly the non-vegetarian foods requires more energy. So more energy for digesting food, doing other activity. This means you will be able to devote less time for your mental development. Those who eat too much, take too much difficult to digest food, this affects their brain. Their capacity of the brain is gets affected. Even some diets are told neurogenesis diets, means they are good for brain. They help in creating more neurons in the brain, particularly the hippocampus, learning and memory area of the brain, which children require. So if they are not particular about the food they take, they are affecting their ability to learn. In the information, published information, evidence-based informations are available. Is it point clear?
Yes, it is. Thanks. Yeah. So the time is 7:40. I think we have tried to cover and give justice to this topic in 30 minutes or maybe 35 minutes. I would again request, if anybody has any questions, please do ask now.
Hello,
Yeah.
I am
Yes.
Jayashree.
Yes.
Namaskar.
No.
Namaskar, sir. Uh, I want to ask one thing that is it good? Is it a good idea, or is it good to interfere much in children's means children's what they are doing?
Yes. Yes.
Means,
See. Yes.
means if they are doing certain thing by their own mind, is it a good idea to interfere or tell them that you should not do this like this, or you should do this by this way? Is it correct or is it good?
See, children, children's brain are not so developed. They are learning the process. So in the process they learn bad things also. So here comes the role of parents. You will have to guide with proper logic to make them understand that
Mm-hmm.
what they are doing is harmful for them and how this will have to be explained to them.
Okay.
Otherwise, they will take the undue interference. If they mistake this for undue interference, then
Mm-hmm.
they will not be so receptive.
Okay. So we need to just means tell them that this is not right thing, or what is the correct way of doing these things. We should
Yeah,
tell
yeah,
them this.
yes.
Okay, okay, okay.
And better by your behavior,
Mm-hmm.
that will be more appropriate, more lasting, more understandable.
Mm-hmm. And one more thing I want to ask. Is it means people say that you should start giving them punishment after the age of 5 years. Like you can punish them by hitting them, like giving just a slap or something. Is it a good thing, or means I am actually in the oppose of this thing, like punishing them? But if certainly we have to do this, is it a
But
good? I mean,
this should be last resort, better to avoid this.
mm-hmm,
Try to find better ways.
mm-hmm.
If they are engaging, then they,
If they are not, if listening, or they are not understanding anything by telling them many times, like you should not do this, you should not do this, and then many times if I said same thing, still they are not listening, then what should we do?
Some control is required, but less the better.
Okay, okay. Yeah,
Because
yeah.
yeah,
This should be the last thing we should
yes,
do.
yes.
Okay, okay.
So logically, making them understand is a
Because
better
see
option.
what I
Yeah, yeah.
mean to say, see sometimes children do not expect that I should be behaved like this by mother or father.
Right, right.
So this will affect their mind adversely. So
Okay,
this point also will have to bear in mind.
okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I would request somebody else if if you have any questions. Okay, so yeah, so I think uh, in the 30 or 40 minutes that we spent together, I'm sure many of our questions
Sir,
may not. Yeah, go ahead, please. Yes.
one question. So,
Yes.
suppose if uh, kids are getting like very angry if we are scolding them, or even if we are showing or we are marking their mistakes, then what should we do?
See, because supposing people right from beginning, what type of treatment, what type of parenting they have got. So with that influence, some influence, some mindset has been created. So you will have to be very cautious and try to be very sensitive to your children to know why the children is behaving like this. So,
Okay.
so you should try to look to this aspect also.
Okay. So means we should try to find out why she's getting very angry when we are showing her own mistakes, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And what is a good way to find it out?
Means there is a mixing. They will have to give some time to be close to them. They say mothers are closer to children, so they assess better. So in the interaction between wife husband, so these things will help. And if you try, you will be able to know also. Because sometimes we immediately we react.
Right.
We do not know background, and it may be due to outer influence also. So you should try to know these things also. Okay, why these things have taken place.
Divya Chandraji, I will give one classic example that I saw in our, me and Ritu, we saw in our kids is that there were some complaints coming from the class that
Mhm.
he would he's a little naughty and from the school. So he was a little naughty, and there was there was one particular kid who would trouble him, or he will trouble him, or something like that. So
Mhm.
uh, our first reaction was that you should be disciplined in the school and all that. When we probed him a little and we spent a little time, what we did was that we respected his ego. Every kid will have his ego that has to be satiated. So that is first thing, that they are being heard at. And then we understood and we probed a little more, so we got to know a lot more that was behind the scenes, which was not coming out. And
Okay.
then we went and spoke to the teachers and understood, and the other aspect also. And then we correlated a lot of things that he said. So when we gave him time to explain what was happening, because many kids would not come out, even they are your kids, they would not come out. very openly immediately, right?
Right.
It depends on how the kid is coming, is being groomed. So this is my first hand experience that I saw, had. So I thought that I'll share, because we need to respect the ego of the kid. That there is a small ego of the kid. Everybody will have. So
Yes.
that needs to be respected, and we have to give a little time and probe, and then take out, and then they have to be dealt as, individuals, responsible individuals. In our what do you call, parenthood, we actually forget at times that even they have a small ego that needs to be respected. So that is where I think we'll have to change our way of.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks. Anyone else? Do you have any questions, please?
Yes. Namaste, Dadaji.
Yes.
I share.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hi.
I have a small thing which I don't know how to handle. So when an elder daughter is trying to manage the younger younger brother, in her own way, like she tries to teach, or sometimes tell her like do this, do that, and immediately, because she's a teenager, so she loses control and she gets into an argumenting or controlling way, and she tries to scold or control the younger one. In that scenario, if I interfere, she gets very violent. She gets very mad, saying that you always favor the younger your son, that's why he misbehaves or he's not listening to me. So as a mother, what should I do here? So I if I say anything to the daughter, like you go slow, don't scold, don't this, that, then she reacts this way. If I tell the younger one, listen to your sister, he will like, I have not done anything, why is she yelling at me? So I really don't know what exactly to how to handle this.
You can say that you will gradually realize, because when I was your age, I was also doing like that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can understand her reactions are coming from the teenage, those hormone imbalance and all that. So she's doing that.
Yeah,
She's not
yeah,
thinking
yeah.
wrong about him, but he's also not understanding. And if I say anything, then it just even increases, that situation just blows up.
No, these things, something will happen, but this is not so. One should worry too much about that.
Sir, it's happening very often nowadays, and within
No,
seconds they start fighting.
but I'm also seeing that they will fight, but they can't live without each other.
That is there. That is there. So when I'm not around, then he will go and stick to her like mother only, and she will also take extra
So
care of her.
this is
But he will listen
something.
everything.
Yes, some things are psychological, and
Okay.
they say it will gradually.
So best that I should not interfere. Let them handle this. So I should do that.
But it should not cause any injury to anybody. Should not be harmful.
No. They do only verbal
But
interactions. No.
no, then nothing to worry.
Okay. Thank you, Dadaji. Thank you.
Okay, nice.
Also, I would just like to add one thing. Should I?
Yes.
Hello. Yeah. It's like at times you can just have a role play also. It will, you have to put in effort, like it will not happen in a speck of time, but it happens. Like, if it's just that you can just ask, what if, for some time you can be, Ayan, and sometime you can be like that. And then how
Okay.
would you behave? Let them have an understanding of how, because this happens with my son and daughter also, though they don't have so much of age difference. They
Okay.
have 3 years of age difference, but still he's always in a brother mode, elder brother mode. And
Okay.
she is always like, I am being controlled by the elder one, because she has her own ego and self,
I know.
thing. So she doesn't, she like the parents, should always guide me, but not my elder brother.
Okay.
So that acceptability will go on. I think even we have faced it, as I and my younger brother would do the same.
Okay.
It's vastly, and it's like the bond is very different now, but it had happened at that phase of time. But at times we just do role play when it is like too much blown out and all. Then we just say you settle between, either you settle, sit at a place and talk it out. It is
Okay.
best, or else
Okay.
we tell that for some time you can become. I say, what if you are Tejish and you are Kaushiki? How would you deal with it?
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
So that
Right.
is something we at times do that, and it works. But when they are like, overblown, then you cannot do anything. It's just to, try to calm them a bit.
Seriously, it's difficult
Yeah,
at times.
yeah, it
Thank you
is
so much.
difficult.
Thank you. Thank you. Ayan is
Yeah,
listening actually. I'm making him listen to.
yeah, and Ayan is very nice. I know he's a nice boy, a bit naughty at times, but
Yeah,
he's very good.
he only troubles his sister. That's it. Nobody else.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you so much, Ritu.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Ash.
Thanks. So any further questions, anyone, please, or any inputs you may have to share? All right. In that case, we'll close this discussion. It had to be a 30-minute, but with questions, it's almost 1 hour. I'm sure we will have a little more interactive sessions in future. Maybe we can, have something like 10 questions answered or 20 question answered on parenting. We'll see how to enrich our lives and our the way we are getting our parents getting our kids up, and we'll see how to help each other in understanding that this very subtle aspect of life, and then we will take it from there. So thank you for your time, and thanks for your uh, questions and your time today. Thank you so much. I think we can close now. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Thank you so much.
Namaskar.
Namaskar.
Thank you.